Hey everybody, Pastor Joel here with you to give you a bit of an update on the COVID-19 situation, particularly as it regards Riverview, our church here in West St. Paul. The last time we gathered for worship at Riverview was March 15th, which, if you do the math, is 9 weeks ago. We're in our ninth week now of having our doors closed. And during those 9 weeks, we've adapted. We've adapted to having our doors closed. We, of course, have had our online worship services. We've been streaming online. For the last 6 weeks, we've been gathering together in our parking lot, starting on Easter Sunday morning with that snowstorm. If you were there, you probably remember it's pretty unforgettable that being out there in the parking lot during that snowstorm on Easter Sunday. So we've adapted for the last 9 weeks. And about 2 weeks ago, we thought we'd be able to open up our doors here at the church relatively soon, since as we looked around us, many businesses in our community were opening up. Some had never closed, and so they were open, of course, and then more were opening up. And then as we heard in the news and from our leaders and our elected officials that more would be opening up very soon. So when we heard that about 2 weeks ago, we started to make a plan to reopen the doors of Riverview, a kind of a tentative plan, a plan that would maximize the health and the safety of everybody who came through our doors. We wanted to take all the precautions that were necessary. And so we planned to begin opening our doors on May 24th. But then about last week, Wednesday, actually, the governor made an announcement about another emergency executive order that he was giving to us. And he opened all businesses through that order except for bars, restaurants, salons, and churches. And needless to say, this was rather disappointing to us for a few reasons. Number one, it seems that this executive order is being applied in a way that is self-contradictory. And what I mean by that is that you have what the governor calls critical businesses are open, and then also non-critical businesses are open. So essentially every business is open except for those bars, restaurants, and salons, and churches. And so as we thought about it, we thought, what is it that separates churches from any other retailer, big box or otherwise, that's already open for business right now? In fact, we believe that Riverview is even more set up to guarantee the health and safety of our people as they come through our doors than, say, Cub Foods or Walmart or any of those other retailers. So we were kind of disappointed by that, to say the least. And from that, we can only kind of conclude that the governor and our government considers even non-critical businesses to be more important to our society than churches, which is something, of course, that we do not believe. Also, we were disappointed when we heard that executive order because we're concerned about our constitutionally guaranteed liberties, both at the federal level in the United States Constitution and at the state level in the Minnesota Bill of Rights, which both guarantee us religious liberty. And even the governor himself is bound to submit himself to the authority of those documents. We've actually, on that note, we've been glad to see some of these executive orders overturned and thrown out in the courts in other states. We are absolutely willing to submit ourselves to the direction of our governing officials as God has commanded his people. Don't get me wrong. We are glad to submit ourselves to their leadership and to their authority. That's why our building has been closed for 9 weeks, because we have been submitting ourselves to their authority. But we also expect our leaders to apply these restrictions and these executive orders fairly and justly. And we believe that we have a biblical obligation to hold our leaders accountable as it concerns their directions for us, and especially as it concerns our religious freedoms. Our church council has met to discuss these very important issues. And for now, the announcement I'm going to give to you right now is that for now, our doors are going to stay closed. We're going to abide by the executive order of our governor and keep our doors closed. And at the same time, we humbly request that our governor and our other elected officials would acknowledge our right to gather for worship and our ability to do so with wisdom and concern for the health and safety of all of our people. As I said earlier, we have created a very detailed plan of how we can open our doors safely and with wisdom and with concern for the health and safety of everybody. And we're going to be sharing more of that plan with you as we get closer to the time when we can reopen our doors. So we believe that we are very able, just as able as any other retailer or business that is currently open right now. We are as able, if not more able, to guarantee the health and safety of our people here at Riverview if our doors were open. And so we're humbly asking our leaders to acknowledge our ability to open our doors safely, and also to acknowledge our rights to gather under those sacred documents that I mentioned just a moment ago. So, like I said, we have that plan in order. We are ready and willing to open our doors at a moment's notice. As soon as we can, our doors will be open, and we're going to be communicating with you here in the near future about those plans and what your role and responsibility will be as we gather back here at Riverview. But for now, may the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you during these times. May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you and all of us peace.